Welcome back to Turkey Trippin' 2022. I left Alabama and I'm currently in Tennessee. Today is April 1st, which is Friday, and tomorrow is the season opener, April 2nd. So I am here where I had a lot of close calls with some birds and eventually kind of stumbled into one back up this way. Had a couple close encounters up in there, bumped a bird off the roost over there. I'm just kind of returning to this area, and I'm glad to see that it looks about the same. Last year it was probably 2 weeks or so into the season when I was here. The ground is dry right now. It's crunchy, it's loud, but I believe it was last year as well. You really got to use these rolls in the terrain. So it's to the top hill back here where I had an encounter. It's about 400 feet up. So you've got to give yourself some time to get up there if you hear one way out there. Behind me, it's, I don't know, 250-ish. The creek seems a little lower than it was last year, so maybe we're in a bit of a dry spell. It's supposed to be about 35 degrees in the morning, which is quite the contrast from Florida, where we breached about 90 degrees a couple days. But I'm looking forward to this. Oh, and another thing. Back here last year, I stopped pursuing a bird at one point because it was on private, according to my map. Well, now that map says it's all public back here. So it's part of the national forest, but not part of the wildlife management area. And it looks like I found a way on the map, looks like I can drive to get around there. I don't think it would save me any time versus having to go straight up this hill. So that gives me another option if I'm just kind of, if tonight and tomorrow morning maybe are just pretty silent, maybe I go back there. That might be the place to be. This is where we're going to start. Pretty excited to start here. It's getting pretty dark out and I got no leads for the morning. And I'm afraid to make any decisions and go uphill because last time it seemed like if I went up this way, inevitably, I would hear gobbling over there. So I'd have to bail off the mountain, climb up the other side. By the time I get halfway up on this side, there'd be one gobbling on the hillside I was already up on. And then by the time I get up here, I'm chasing ghosts because they've had a chance to fly down, get with hens, and then I'm one step behind them all day. I guess that's a pretty good problem to have because there were birds all around. But right now I got nothing. Good morning, folks. I decided to start walking up the road that I'm parked on just to see what the condition was of it. We're approaching gobble time, and I've got a bunch of roosters and some other things making a whole lot of noise. So by walking up the road, I get away from that a little bit and dip around a bend. Oh, there's gobble. I thought I heard one on my side. I think that one was behind me. Playing that game again. I wasn't facing that way, but it sounded like it was about in front of the car. Okay, I hear that. Maybe that's what I heard. It wasn't back here, it was over there. Game. I'm a few hundred yards up this road, so now I gotta backtrack. But I think I'm gonna owl hoot in this direction before I go running off. See if anything hits on my side. Toward that gobble. I'm wearing an extra layer of clothes this morning because it is hot. I mean, it is cold. I was been standing there shivering, waiting for gobble time. And now I'm probably going to get too hot. But it's hard to convince yourself to take a layer off while you're shivering. If I never would have left this spot, I'd heard it pretty good. Now what I don't know is, where is it now? There's a big draw up here on the left. Oh, come on, dude. Where you at now? Don't shut up on me now. He doesn't seem to want to gobble anymore. I don't know if he's already down or not. Alright, I just heard him again. He's out somewhere in that cut. There he is. Alright. I just gained a quick 100 foot, so I'm about to die out of breath. I haven't checked my map yet, but I also might run out of public land. If my pointer is accurate, he's on public land. Alright, he just hit it again. I don't think there was any way I get to him before he gets on the ground. So I decided to use my information gained from last year and get up on this ridge top. Except I chose a bad hill. It had a whole bunch of junk in it, but it looks like I'm out of the real thick stuff. So hopefully I can make some progress. The sun's up. I'm near the top. He's a long way out that way. There's like a land bridge almost that goes through this cut and goes over there. I walked it last year, but that's where I ran out of public land. But this year it says it's all public back there. There's no private. Do some calls from over here. Maybe let them know this ridgetop has hens. Just hit it. I'm going to get near that land bridge thing. He answered my last one, but not this one. He was still over there. I don't know if he's on that next hilltop. For all I know, he's coming. Or for all I know, he's just sitting over there with hens. That's what they were doing up here last year, was they were just gobbling with their hens. They'd answer you, but they wouldn't come until they lost their hens. So I'm going this way. I just crossed the land bridge this way and was up on that hill. And twice now I've heard a hen up there. It's either a hen or a hunter. So I may have company soon. So it was hunters. It was two hunters. They came across that land bridge, same as me, and they saw my footprint. And they went down kept going on this ridge. They're locals here. They kept going on. It's probably been an hour and 15 minutes or so since they left. And I definitely just heard a gobble. I don't know if it was across the land bridge up on the hill I came from, or if it was more down in the valley down here. We're going to listen and try to figure out where that was. Hopefully it's just gobbling on its own and we can work with it. It wasn't close. It was not close. Alright, I just heard him again. He actually sounds like he's over where I climbed up this morning. So I gotta cross back across this land bridge. I'm not gonna call to him yet. Sounds like he's around the face of this mountain. So I'm gonna go up this land bridge as quick as I can. Get on top. And then call to him. It is not an insignificant hill. Alright, he made me come all the way over here. And I can't get him to talk back to me. I thought there was something working just over the crest of this hill. But it was two woodpeckers down in the brush pile. Back and forth, back and forth. Alright, I've heard a gobble now for the 5th time, and I could not figure out where it's coming from. It's coming from back the direction I just came. Daggone it. We're playing back and forth games. So this green hill right here is where I was. I think he's on the farther ridges. So I'm going to boogie to that green ridge. See if we can't narrow this down better and not play back and forth games. Two freaking birds right there. They might have been jakes, but they had freaking white heads. Are you kidding me? They were coming right up over this saddle. I don't know what they were. They seemed like they were males. They could have been. It's not the bird that was gobbling. These are way too close to be that one. They were just cutting over this little saddle down here. It is not insignificant to go from the one hilltop to this other side, down or up. It's steep. Tack on it, man. We'll creep up to this edge. Maybe he'll give us another one. We get a better location on him. And that petered out kind of like the rest of the day did here on opening day in Tennessee. These birds got me running around, kind of like we're just picking up where we left off last year. Hope you liked this video. If you did, hang on, Chris, we got to do the giveaway. What I've got here is we've got 18 persons entered. First number drawn is going to be for the heavy choke, and the second one is going to be for the Primos tightwad. So I've got 18 people here. We've got numbers next to each. I've got Jeff's 30-sided die that I stole from his Dungeons and Dragons game. And so we're going to roll that. Obviously, if it's more than 18, we'll have to roll again. But I'm going to put it in this glass bowl and video it from up here, so we try to have continuity here, kind of like the lotto used to do, where you have the big screen and then the little side screen right here. So we're going to do the phone's view right over here to the side. And this is probably going to be loud, so we're going to have to edit the noise down, but we're not going to edit anything else out here. So let's roll this up. 9. Number 9. What does that translate to? That translates to Kenneth Mounts. Right there. So you've got the heavy. And one more time for the Primos. 3. Number 3. That translates to Curtis Collins. Curtis Collins. So by the time you see this video, I will have already replied to your comment wanting in, and hopefully by now we've already got our information exchanged so I can get this stuff out to you. But anyway, we'll get back to old Chris and Tennessee. Go ahead and give us that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down there, and as always, thanks for watching.